Hey, how's it going? Oops, I did not set up my lights first. Stop it. Please stop. Don't you cause problems too. Also, and as well as... Okay. So, I figured out some of these things that were troubling me with my ability to access my YouTube channel, this one. Figured some stuff out. Woo, finally. So, now I can have my videos go to the right place. And, actually discovered this yesterday, but I put up the last video I did in my posts section on here, so if you want to stay in order, concurrent, that's how you do it. There's a couple, two, I think, in posts. And then from there, they'll just be right back on the normal place. So, yesterday, I saw something interesting, and I'm going to link the video. I'm going to link two videos, because for me, there's cohesion between the two, and there's cohesion in the information between the two. And when I was sort of composing how to do this in my mind, I realized that not everyone's going to make the same connections that I'm making, as far as the videos are concerned. So there'll definitely be something there for a viewer. But anyway, the one that really struck me was from a new channel that I found, and of course I can't remember the name of it right now. It's like a science channel, but it also has like sort of spirituality and includes theology, I think, but maybe in just this one message, but I don't know. I've looked at a couple, and there's definitely a theology component, which is interesting, because for all of the stuff that people don't believe of, that religion, like Christianity, for example, because that's what I'm familiar with mostly, predicts a lot of things, or it says a lot of things will happen because of other things that happen. It's part of prophecy, though. And so, regardless of what you believe, things that were predicted in the Bible have actually happened within like the last 5-10 years, and they're not as I'm no longer sure if this is the right word, but they're not as apocryphal as perhaps we're given to believe. Like I want to say, as children, because that's when I started getting this information, they start filling your head with kind of really scary stuff that could happen if you do, the wrong thing. It's a very confining existence, and that's what we have to look forward to if Christianity gets to take over the way Trump and company are seeming to want it to. Although that's crooked and warped, that's not really how it's supposed to be. They are, I don't know, not being truthful when they're telling you stuff and trying to rewrite the truth, and they're not very original. I noticed this over and over again. People do not have original bones in their bodies, but they just want to say that what the truth is. They say they want to literally flip it around and make it the opposite of what the truth is, and it's so blockheaded. It's like, the paper bag doesn't need to be wet to think your way out of it. It's so simple-minded, which is good for us, because if these were all smarter people, we'd really be in trouble. But it's not great right now. I confine my remarks to the United States as much as possible, since that's where I'm at, that's where I am, and that's where I can best know what the heck's going on and understand it, the cultural effects and all of that stuff, but it's not unique to here. There's some kind of trouble brewing everywhere, but there's two videos. One's about the age of Aquarius. This other one, the science one, is talking about finding new discoveries that no one even really saw this coming, but I should have looked it up first before I started, because my understanding of this particular theory is not deep. It's, sort of beyond I didn't learn about it in school. I mean, I didn't get that far with math, let's put it that way. I mean, this is like astro math stuff. I don't even know the word for it. But, there's something called the Planck something. I should have looked it up for... Oh, you know what? I can do that right now. I forgot. I have two phones again, so let me see here. What the hell, man? My phone is all acting like you can't get Wi-Fi. It's the one thing in here that's got that kind of service. Well, anyway, Planck thing. That's not the one that I want. That setting is not the droid that I want. Okay, Planck. And that's Planck with a Planck. Max Planck. Planck's constant is the name of the... See, I don't even know how to talk about this. It's the phenomenon that's observed. That's the name of it. Well, what it is... Let me see if I can find it. It's not too complicated. Oh, it's a video. Come on, I don't want a video. I said I don't want it. Stop talking. Well, it's something like close to quantum science, I guess, and it's like a form of measurement or something that was observed by a German scientist. When was it? In 1901, he devised a theory that perfectly described the experimental evidence, but it was part of a radical new idea. Energy. See, if I click on this, it's PBS. It's going to try to go to a show, and I don't want to do that. Well, I linked the video. It will explain it better. But the thing that caught my eye about it in the first place was that it said something about seraphim, which are angels, right? That's why I looked at this, because I'm not a math guy, like I've been saying. But when I watched the video, what it talks about is being able to detect something that was not previously detected. And these were the words they used: beneath the level of Planck, whatever the thing. So they found this new thing someplace where they didn't even think it was a place to look for anything. The science is so funny, because they think they found stuff, and then when they find, they think they found things and know all of the things that there are to be found or something, which is crazy, because science's history is all about discovering one thing and then discovering something more, and discovering the first thing was not what you thought it was, and then the next thing is the new thing, and then it just progresses from there. It's like generations and families. There's always a next wave of information when it's science. With people, it's more people. The next wave of babies. Yay, more us. Sorry. I should be more enthusiastic about us, but it's kind of hard right now. A lot of us are disappointing me. Anyway, so back to the discovery of the seraphim thing. The reason why they called it that was because what they located was something that explained how a certain thing exists or certain things exist. And they had some of the information and they talk about it. And it's sort of like, listen, I'm going to give you the really bad layman's explanation of how I understood this, but what they found was like a field, right? And it has all of these little, I'm going to call them tubules. And those are the seraphim that they referred to, but what they are these multifaceted, little teeny tiny things that do vast, barely imaginable things, tasks. Like, I don't know, do they have an awareness of what they're doing? Well, here's the thing. Here's where the seraphim stuff comes in. Is there are many thousands of angels, and they all have these purposes, and these tubules, they named seraphim because they are kind of holding reality together. You have to watch the video. That's the best I can do and still make it make sense. But here was my favorite thing. Like, if you know about this science stuff at all, like, I don't know it, but I've read a lot of it. I'm aware of a lot of it. I just can't articulate it very well. Maybe I have stage fright, because I do know a lot of the terminology, but it's just escaping me right now. But the seraphim tubule reality connector items, in the video, they said it's like the midichlorians in Star Wars. Now that's a different system. Like, the midichlorians are like in your genes, in your body, but what I understood them saying was that the midichlorians that would be in our genetic structure in our bodies serve the same purpose in the underneath the Planck theory field of seraphim tubules. Like, those seraphim tubules hold reality together, and then the ones in our genetic structure hold us and our reality together. And that's more than just the 3D reality we live in. That's like the astral plane and every other plane of existence that we could possibly approach and perceive and be at. Oh man, I thought okay, never mind that right now. So I got real excited about that, because when you read about the midichlorians in Star Wars, like, I immediately thought, like, I didn't think that's some made-up cartoon thing, or, you know, George, what the hell's the dude's name? George Lucas doesn't know about this stuff. What is he, like, I don't know what he knows, but he got close to some real science with this stuff. And I always thought that, so when I saw this Seraphim video thing, and they started talking about it, like, all these connections were being made in my mind, ding, 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 and I was like, this is right, this is real stuff. So, that is just my feeling. It's, you know, my opinion. You can certainly, and will, regardless of anything I do, have your own opinion. I just hope you're as interested and thrilled by this as I am, because I just love this. I have this favorite channeler, Lee Carroll, and what he channels is one thing, and it's Kryon. But Kryon is a conglomerate and an amalgamation of angelic energies, and it gave itself a name for us humans to latch onto because we like that kind of thing. But just what Kryon is like a teacher helper. And if you want to know more about that, like, I frequently put up Kryon posts in my post section on my channel. But it's Kryon, and the channel is Cryon Lee Carroll. Lee Carroll is the channeler. Cryon is what is channeled. And it's not really a who. It's, like I said, it's made up of multiple, it's from the angelic realm. Remember I said there's thousands of angels? Cryon will say, I'm not an angel. And that's a weird way to put it, because Cryon will also say, I'm not a I or a him. It's not a human. I thought Cryon had been a human, because I saw this weird, the video wasn't that the video was weird, it was about Pleiadians, but it was like a video with people, like a podcast, and they were speaking to somebody else that channels. And this person came through, brought a Pleiadian through, and the Pleiadian said, kind of mockingly, which is extremely weird considering Pleiadians and Cryon are all about love, 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 like, mocking, not a thing. And so, at the time, I was like, how strange. But this particular channeling group, I don't even want to get into it because it's a sticky area for me. But, what this person that brought through what the Pleiadian said that this person brought through was that Cryon had been a man, but he, and they acknowledged that the Cryon that I know of now, because when Cryon was supposed to have been a man, it would have been like thousands and thousands of years ago. So, evidently Cryon, like, was somehow too big for his britches, and then for eternity he had to come back as the helper Cryon. And then, so, I thought that is so weird, like, the mocking is completely out of character for both entities, you know, both beings. And, so, I mean, that was like a red flag, but I didn't know, like, maybe, because other times from this same channeler, I've gotten stuff that felt fully right on. You just never know. And I say that because then I went back to Cryon's channel and I asked, like, it's not really one of those Q&A places unless there's a specific Q&A going on. But I don't pay for, like, everything that Cryon has on offer. I just watch the free stuff on YouTube. So I don't see all that other stuff. So, but I put that question in the comment section as, like, I related the story about the Pleiadian speaking that way about Cryon. And I was like, is that true? Cryon was a man and those things happened? And I got no answer for, like, 3 months. And it wasn't a direct answer, it just came out in another channeling that I was listening to. And it said, Cryon was never a man who lived and walked the earth. We're just a collection of angelic energies. Some of us have lived, some of us haven't. There's all these distinctions, and you just have to kind of pick your way through it and decide if it makes any dang sense to you. But it came out of nowhere, seemingly, and I just happened to be listening to it that day, because I could have missed it, you know? But I did ask the question, so after I had forgotten and figured, I figured I wasn't going to get an answer, and then just kind of forgot about it, and then that day I was listening to it, and it said, yeah, no, Cryon was never a man. It didn't reference me or my question, but it talked about what it actually was, and that's when it said that it's not an angel. It's part of a group of entities like itself that are from the angelic realm, and it's kind of complicated, like, trying to explain that, so I'm not gonna even try. But, I don't even know why I started talking about that now. Now I just got lost in my own sauce. Well, anyway, I just thought that was so fascinating. So I just started writing because I didn't even know what the heck I was going to write about it. Like, this is, like, big. You know, I have to, like, work my way around it and through it and sort of digest it all before I know what to do more than this about it. But let me read what I wrote down. Breaking free of conformity. Just as the shackles prepare to tighten, by leadership unable to manage their own emotions, thinking if they can remove or stymie other people stating their feelings on the bad policies and statements, defying the very freedom of speech that the based part of the freedom of speech they based part of their public ID on. I think I was talking about the United States founders there. Or no, I guess maybe I was just talking about the ones we have right now in charge. Anyway, so let me do that again. Defying the very freedom of speech they based part of their public ID on to anyone that exercises their right to speak freely. Despite the fact that it's only free if the touchiest of pincushions takes no personal offense at the opinion. You know, you expect to miss a word or two with your cell phone or your mobile phone, whatever you call it. And you really shouldn't. Like, the technology should be good enough, whether you're using the mic or typing, to not lose whole words, but that happens. It's so weird to me that I wrote this by hand, and I noticed a lot that I have to, like, edit on the fly, because I leave out words. And I'm just realizing right now, that might just be a thing that's happening, because I don't know if you've noticed that when people are saying things all over the place, like people you're talking to face, people on the news, on the TV, whatever, the YouTube, they're leaving off words while they're saying sentences. Let me see if I can think of an example. Of course I can't, but it's like, it'll be something that someone says, that people say all the time, and you know what they mean, but they'll just leave off a word, like a whole word of the saying. And I have been kind of fixated on that, because I'm like, is language changing, or do people have brain damage? Like, what is happening? Why are people just leaving off whole words? And sometimes context is the only thing that saves whatever they're talking about, because if you can't sort of follow what they're saying and they leave out a word and then you're just lost, that doesn't seem deliberate, like intentional. That seems like a brain fart of some type. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt here. My cat did that thing which I usually really like when I'm sleeping, and he just jumps on my chest and sort of wakes me up and gets into position, and we both fall back asleep. Well, he did that this evening. I think I was sort of on the edge of sleep, or just lightly asleep, but he jumped on my chest and got all snugged up under my chin, and we were settling down to fall back asleep, and he did a big burp and barfed all over my shoulder and my arm, and went on the floor and all over the sheet and the blanket. And I was like, hooray! So I had to get all the way up and clean that all up. So, I mean, I knew I was planning on getting up later to do this, but I didn't. Wow, that's weird too. I didn't want to, because I was comfortable, but can't sleep with warm and then immediately cold cat food, stomach smelling, barf. I had to get all the way up. So, hi, here I am. I bring that up because you just saw me take off my glasses. That's because I have cleaned them twice already. But I fell asleep with them on, and there was barf on my glasses. I just wiped off the last of it. And I wiped it on my kitchen towel. I'll have to change that out. I don't want cat yak on my kitchen towel. Aren't you so glad I gave you that interlude? So let me pick up where I left off, which was talking about the touchiest of pincushions not wanting you to have free speech if it's talking in some way that they think is bad about them. Got that? Okay. Finding your own way, not giving in to pressures one intuitively knows is a bad idea. I guess that should be a bad idea. I'll learn English one of these days. To engage with monumental changes and discoveries will exist regardless of an unconnected individual's participation or engagement. To engage with monumental changes and discoveries will exist regardless of an unconnected individual's participation or engagement. I'm not starry-eyed for AI because it's a tool, a learning tool that itself learns. We use it to locate data and We use it to locate data and previously undetected dimensions and other discoveries. So that's trying to talk about that Planck business. It is not, however, doing the same thing as using our own senses to directly detect and experience the findings. We have unexplored vastness and ability coded into our DNA. We are sadly so out of practice and familiarity with it all that we no longer recognize we have these sort of hidden coded abilities, let alone remember how to work the controls. So we don't remember they're there, so obviously we're not going to remember how to work them. Not to sound as if it's a failing, there's probably a contingency for exactly how things are playing out, probably exactly as it's meant to. Perhaps it's all part of the system's recovery reboot programming. So I think that might be, I hesitate to say that what I do is automatic writing, but that feels like the closest I've probably come to that, because I really sat down and just started going. I had no real direction. That's okay, though. That's always fun to just feel the need to start writing and then be pleasantly surprised by whatever comes out. I mean, I find I am, because, I don't know, I think it's fun. So, that, again, what I just read and said to you might not make like a connection immediately. And I don't know. Actually, I've been looking at my analytics, and I see that very few people watch all the way to the end. In fact, seconds is the watch time that seems to be the most common, but occasionally people do watch. So if you watch this all the way through and also watch the linked videos, then I hope that I can share with you some of the connections that I made, because I just found it so enjoyable. Like, we can look at reality. I mean, this is reality too, but basically we have like our layman reality where all of this stuff is not really talked about, not really thought about. we just let it be and life goes on, but it's part of life. It's like not knowing how to work those controls or systems that we have forgotten about that are encoded into our DNA. But it seems like we're gaining more of an awareness of their existence, and some people are born just working that shit already. Like, they don't even have to think about it. It's like you or I breathing. They just have this whole other set of facilities that are online. We got them too, but they're maybe not online. Anyway, I feel like this was kind of a different one, but I mean, I feel like it has legs. It has a lot going on. Personally, I don't know what I don't know what just happened there. I got lost. So I did pull some cards after I wrote that, so I'm just gonna tell you what they say, and it's from the Messages of Cosmic Oracle cards. And the first one is, check in with your body and release any tension you are carrying. Check in with your body. Can you check in? If you release the tension, are you any closer to accessing those hidden controls? You gotta even be able to detect that they're there, to be felt by yourself. So maybe that's what checking in with your body is all about. Stop looking outside yourself for the answers. You already know them. There it is in your DNA. Like it's there on some sub-level before our inner plank. That information is there. We've just forgotten how to access it. Forgotten that it's even there. So the next card says, listen to your body and do what it's asking of you. I haven't been showing them, but here, let me show them to you anyway. There's the first one again. Check in with your body and release any tension you are carrying. Always good advice. It's a form of blockage, and therefore it impedes you when you're tense and anxious. Here's this next card. Stop looking outside yourself for the answers. You already know them. There's a lot that we have not accessed that's in our DNA, and I feel like it's quantum. It's like we have to become aware of it before it activates, or to activate it, we have to become aware of it. But the point is it's in us the whole time, like little bitty us with these vast swirls of information. We have that, and we don't even really acknowledge it. So the next one says, listen to your body and do what it's asking of you. I personally have felt like, I live alone. I don't have, I never married. I don't have kids. So I don't have all of that. I have Barfy cat. But, what I'm saying is I'm already, pretty much, I'm on my own. I don't have a lot of distractions. I would say isolated. There's people in apartments all around me, so I wouldn't call it isolation, but solitude maybe. And I've craved even more. I just ended a relationship that I really didn't want to end, but I also didn't want to do what I have always done in relationships and just sort of let the person run all over me and not have my own sort of say in things, or just not feel like I was an equal partner. And I haven't been, and that always leads to people sort of taking advantage of you. You always have to stand your ground, and even the person that you think is on your side that really likes you or loves you or something, it's just inherent in humans to go after weakness. And so I don't really want to expand on that anymore. I think I made my point. I think people understand what can happen when the balance of power is off in a relationship. And so I didn't want to do what I usually do and let myself just be sort of, run over by the other person. I wanted to say, look, if these things can't happen, because here's what I've done a lot for you, and more than was fair, let's put it that way. And I didn't feel like it was reciprocal much at all. Like, what I did get wasn't enough, wasn't good enough. And there's no reason I should settle for less, or like I felt like I was settling for crumbs. I don't want crumbs. And if crumbs is what I got, then I don't need it. If I'm already more or less alone anyway, crumbs is not going to do anything but piss me off. So I don't want more for myself, and it's taken me a long time to get there to be able to say I'm not going to put up with this crap anymore, even though there's all this other stuff that my ego really liked about it, and then there was all this other stuff, and this is what made it hard, that it was not ego-based, and there's a real connection there like I've never felt in my life. And I even gave that up because it was like the power balance was not balanced. And I have to have that now. Like, I just can't stand it anymore. So anyway, when you watch the Age of Aquarius video, you will see how this period that's happening now, and there's lots of majors, like there is a coronal hole in the sun that takes up, I don't know if you know how big the sun is, like, I'm sure you have an idea, but if you think about it, if there's a coronal hole that takes over, like, it looks like a third of like a bottom third of the whole sun, that's big. And then it's shooting stuff out of it, magnetic, solar, all kinds of energy, and you can see it reflected in the way you're feeling, the way you're seeing other people acting around you in the world, like magnetic stuff here on the planet, and all the rest of us having our feels and all kinds of things. All the stuff coming from off planet is affecting us and activating things in us and making us sort of aware of those types of things that we have been missing and unaware of for a long time. Like, abilities are coming online. And so some of us are dealing with it okay, and some of us are like not knowing what the heck is going on, and that just in my mind seems like someone's spinning and then the world's spinning in the other direction, and like it's like spin art. Like, that's what it feels like the people are feeling, out of confusion and surprise and like, what the hell is happening? Because nothing is right, nothing is normal, and things are changing to the new thing, and come on, it's just a lot for everyone. So the last card is, you could use some self-care time, like now. Schedule it in. It's a busy time, but make time. Like I was just saying, with all of that going on, especially if you don't really have a handle on why it's happening, even if someone hears me saying what I'm saying, it might not be believable to the person, but at least it's something. Because you're not really getting other explanations if you're freaking out, are you? The information is out there. You just have to know that it is and where to look. So hopefully you stumble upon someone like myself or someone else that's talking about this stuff and can clear up some of the matters for you. And that can help smooth things out for everyone. Like, sort of flip one totally anxious, freaking out person into a calmer portion of the life that we all share. Then collectively everyone's going to feel that much calmer as compared to the people over here, but that's a constant in life, isn't it? Because we're all at different speeds at sort of perceiving and ingesting all of this information. It's cray-cray right now. Except, hi. I just brushed this hair down so many times, and I'm just sat here and watch it just, like, stop defying gravity. It's distracting. Okay, like I said, this is a strange one. Thank you and good night.